So hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. In this video we're talking about bananas. That's right, we're talking about bananas. How do we propagate bananas? So if you want to put bananas on your farm, how can you do it? Where can you get the saplings from? So how do you do it? Are they propagated from seed, or do you have to like maybe propagate them other ways? So we are going to learn how we do it. Okay, so this right here is a banana clump. Okay, so this is how bananas naturally grow in their natural environment. Banana is a tropical fruit, which means they are found in a lot of the tropical areas. They are native to the Indo-Malayan region, that is in Asia. They're found in Australia, Papua New Guinea, in all those regions, and Indonesia, and all of that belt. Right, they're found in all these places. So this right here is now bananas are of two types. You have the plantain that you can cook and eat, plantain, and then you have the banana which you can ripen it and then eat it. Okay, so these are the two different types broadly, but there are so many different species. You get bananas in all sorts of sizes and shapes. Okay, like you have the little finger banana which is only about this big, so you have like the largest banana that you see in your supermarkets. All right, so how do you propagate bananas? How can you grow them? Do they grow from seed? The answer is no. Okay, bananas don't produce seeds, so you cannot propagate them from seeds. So then how do you propagate? Okay, so what you see right here, okay, the plant, what appears like a tree, okay, that is actually a pseudo stem. Okay, that is not actually the stem of the plant. Okay, the real stem is actually underground. Okay, it's called a comb. That is where the banana stem actually is, and all these shoots that come off they come off of the comb. Okay, so the comb sits underground, and then it produces these pseudo stems which shoot out, and they go up like the trees, and then the pseudo stem will then will produce the fruit. Okay, the large rack of bananas that you see. All right, so if you want to propagate bananas, the first thing you have to do is, the only way you can propagate them, there are so many different techniques now. They take the comb, they do tissue culture, they cut them up into small pieces, and then in the lab they propagate them. That is one way of doing it. The other way is just the comb will produce these suckers. Okay, they come out of the ground, like you can see this is a sucker, right? So this is one. Okay, there's another one here. So they produce a whole bunch of these suckers that come out. Okay, and if you can cut these, separate them from the comb with the comb, and then take it to wherever you want to plant them and put it in the ground, they will start growing again. All right, so these suckers, they're actually called pups. Okay, so that's the mother plant. The mother plant has produced the fruit. Okay, it has the big rack of bananas that you typically see, and the really interesting thing is the pseudo stem. The stem actually grows from within the pseudo stem, and then it's the stem that produces the rack of bananas. It produces the flowers, and then it produces the fruit. Okay, so now if I want to propagate, if I want to have bananas on my farm, what I will do is I will probably take one of these these pups, okay, and then I will transplant it to my farm, and I'll have bananas. Now you have to keep in mind a few things. Okay, not all pups are true pups. Okay, some of these they look very cylindrical, so those are just water shoots, okay, that the comb produces, so that when there is excess water. But if you see a pup that is very conical in shape, that is a true pup. Okay, and the other one is just a water shoot. But regardless of whether you take a water shoot or a true pup, you're going to still end up with having it's gonna still bear fruits, right? So it's not a big deal. It's just that the water shoot will take a little longer to produce fruits. That is what I heard, but we'll have to see. So what I did is I've collected a few water shoots and a few true pups, and then we will go and we will transplant it on my property, and over time we'll see what is the difference. Okay. Okay, so now we know how to identify a true pup from a water shoot. So we've identified our pup, and now we need to remove it. We need to separate it from the mother plant. So how do we do it? To be able to do that, you need few tools. Okay, you need something like this. This is a hoe. This is a narrow hoe, right? So you need this, and you need this. You need a spade. Okay, so these are the two things you're going to need to separate this pup from the mother plant. Okay, so how do we do it? So the first thing you do is you go around the base of the plant and make sure that you remove any organic material or anything that's there. Okay, so you have to remove anything that might be there. So once you do that, once you can see the ground, okay, you use the hoe and come here. You dig. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this, because you're in someone else's property and they could have other things growing, like he's got this coffee growing here. So you want to be mindful of that. You don't just mindlessly start digging everywhere and destroying things on someone else's property. He's been kind to give me these pups. He told me you can take it and put it on your property, and he did not even ask for any money. So that's really kind of him. But then the way you repay him is by not destroying his property, right? So be mindful of that. So you dig to a point where you can really see the roots sticking out of the ground. Okay, the roots coming off of the pup. Okay, so once you can see the roots, then you go in there with the spade, right? There you go in here. Push out from that side. Okay. Okay. So this is the pup that we have harvested. Okay, so after you harvest the pup, there's a few other things you'll have to do. Okay. First thing you do is you just cut off the pseudo stem. You don't need this, right? You don't need this. Okay. And but make sure that the cut is a clean cut here, okay, because the shoot is going to start growing from here once again, right? So after you do that, any excess, see, this is the clump. This is the part of the plant which has the clump. It has got some roots, right? And this is the clump. So you can, you don't need these roots. You can cut off the roots. and you just need a little bit of the comb. That is all is needed for this plant to regrow once again, right? And the reason we cut this off is you're giving the plant a reset. Okay, so if you leave the roots on and the stem on, the pseudo stem, the plant is going to have to spend a lot more energy to keep that alive. But if you cut it off, then the comb can just focus on regrowing new roots instead of trying to keep the roots alive, the ones that they've already grown. I hope that makes sense. So this is something now you can transplant. Okay, you can take this to the farm and you can transplant this, and this will form a a fully grown banana plant in another 8 to 10 months, right? So this is how easy it is to propagate bananas. Okay, so I've collected one. I have a whole lot more to collect. Okay, so I see there's another one here. I think this one also looks good. Although it looks like a water shoot, I'm going to still harvest it and I'm going to take it with me. Okay, so let me harvest the other one. So another important thing is after you have separated the pup from the plant, make sure that you cover that area with mud. Right? So you keep that covered, because otherwise the plant is going to get some sort of an infection and it's going to die, right? Another reason why you want to make sure you remove any mud, right? I forgot to tell you. Make sure you don't have any mud or any material sticking to the root, because the mud, the soil can have parasites in them. The roots can have parasites in them, nematodes and that sort of stuff, and you don't want to take that to your property, right? Any fungus that might be growing on the plant, you don't want to transplant it with the plant on your property. That can be really bad, right? So you make sure that you remove any soil that might be there on the plant, the roots, because the roots can still have some nematodes in them. Remove all of that before you transplant it onto your property, in your garden. Now I'll go ahead and collect the other one. Right? And you have to remove any excess roots. You don't need the roots. Right? Look at the ants. Be careful. Okay. Make sure you get rid of any excess soil. You don't want to carry the pathogens and the nematodes and all of that along. Give it a good trimming. There you go. So this is now ready for transplant in your garden, right? You can take it, put it in the ground, pour some water, give it some manure, give it some compost, and this will grow into a whole new banana plant. And in another 8 to 10 months you will get the fruits, you get the banana. So that is how easy it is to transplant a banana, but you need to know what you're doing. Again, make sure that you collect the right pup to get faster results, but even the water shoots will do. So now I'll carry all this, take this to my property, and I'll show you how I transplant it. Look at these ants. Be careful, wear something like this, long sleeves, so that you don't get bitten by insects. And also the liquid, the kind of sticky substance that the banana produces, it gets onto your clothes, it's never gonna go, right? So make sure you're wearing clothes that you don't really fancy, that you're not very fond of, t-shirts or maybe trousers that you don't really like, something that you can use for farm work. Don't wear something brand new and go to do something like this, because that's gonna destroy those clothes. Okay, I'm a little tired now. I'm done harvesting about 1, 2, 3, and I have maybe another 10 that I have to harvest. So after I do all that, I'll see you guys on my farm. Alright. Okay, so I'm done collecting all the saplings that I want to transplant. So I think I've collected about 10 or 12. I think, yeah, about 12 saplings, these pups. So all I have to do now is put them in a big bag and take them to my property, right? So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put it in a bag, put all of this in a bag and carry it all the way. Yeah, it is hard work, but it's something that you have to do, right? Nothing comes easy. One, I think I might have to do maybe 2 trips. I don't think I can carry all of them at once. So I'll carry as many as I can, then come back and then take the rest of them. Okay. That's heavy. I mean, that is as much as I can carry. It's not just I have to carry it just here, I have to carry it all the way, and that's almost like half a kilometer walk. So, and that is over fences. I have to jump, cross a lot of ground, so it's going to be really taxing, and it's really sunny today, so carrying this all the way will be a little hard. So let me see if I can carry it. I'll carry it all the way, then come back maybe later on in the day and carry the rest of them. Yeah. Yes. Wow. Now that was some really long walk. That was easily maybe 10,000 steps. You know, in the city people keep an app for these things to count the number of steps. But here you lose count of the number of steps you take. Where it's just constantly walking. And if you forget anything, you just have to walk another couple of thousand steps to go get it. So if you're into these sort of things, don't forget things. You forget things, You're gonna have to keep walking. You know, I was always surprised how people here keep so fit. Now I know the secret. You know, they forget things and then they have to go back and they have to go back and get it. So every time they walk, it's just that, you know, they just do more steps, and with every step you're burning more calories, and you have to be fit. You know, it's inevitable, right? You become fit. All right, so after a really long walk, I managed to get our bananas all the way. Okay, here you go. Okay, so this is a different type of banana. Okay, this is not the same. So this is more like the little finger. There's a small banana, they call it elaki around here. But this is robusta. Okay, this is the big banana that we get around here. It's called pacha balen. Okay, so that's robusta, and this is the little banana. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys how we plant them now. So alright, so now you have the banana, you have the sapling, you know, the pup that we've separated from its mother. Yeah, it's a little harsh, but that is what it is. So we've separated it now and we have it here. Okay, so this is another one. So the next important thing is the ditch that you dig, right? Bananas, they need to be planted really deep, you know, because as they grow, they tend to come to the surface because they have these exploring roots that go, that are more shallow. They don't have tap roots. So they need, and also you have the clump that sits, the comb that sits below it. The comb tends to kind of rise as the banana grows. So they say that when you're planting a banana, make sure you dig a deep hole and then plant the banana. So this ditch that I've dug, this hole that I've dug is almost a feet and a half deep, and it's really wide. So the reason I made it wide is because even after I cover it with mud, I'll still have like a depression here, so that when I water it, the water will stay here. And bananas, they love water, right? Bananas, they love water, but they need really good draining soil. So this sandy soil is really good, but yeah, they like a lot of water. And also, if you have bananas, they crave for nitrogen, so they need a lot of nitrogen to be able to, you know, put out the leaves and grow really well. So you have to make sure that you give it enough nitrogen, which is, you know, like, you know, a lot of grass clippings and a lot of that will help it get the nitrogen that it needs. So this is how you do it. So you dig a big hole, you just put the pup that you separated after you prepared it, put it in the middle, right, and you fill it with mud. So this is a ditch that I had already dug. As you can see, I have already planted a batch of bananas, like 20. So this is the second batch that I'm bringing in, right? So there you go. So I still have a little bit of depression here, and when I watered it, that water is going to sit here and it's going to drain, and the plant is going to get all the water it needs, right? So that is how simple it is to grow a banana, right? So you put it in the ground and wait for another 8 months. Hopefully this will survive, and you have banana. So what I'll do now is I'll plant a couple more, and then I'll go start the motor and give it some good watering. So after that, we're done, and in 8 months time, I'm sure I'll have a big rack of banana. One here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Just fill it with mud. Just cover up the pit. I would leave a depression here. Right. is a banana that I transplanted yesterday, and it is already starting to grow new leaves. Okay, so this is a testament to show how fast bananas grow. It's just another day, and it's just a day, and it's already starting to grow, right? Okay, so now that I have electricity, things have become a lot easier. Now all I need to do is press a button.